Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. You know, I had a really fun time casting just that random match I joined on the ladder the other day, and I thought I'd do some more Starcraft 2 casting. Now, it can be tough to sometimes find replays in Starcraft 2, so we're casting one from WCS Austin. Now, I don't believe that this was covered on any main or official stream, so I figured I'd cast this, let you guys watch it. Personally, I don't know the results of this map, but I am excited to see how this one's going to go. So as far as this matchup goes, it's going to be a Terran versus Zerg. That is, I'm in old tournament habits there, but spawning up in the top right-hand side of Lost and Found, it is souL, Pyodor. I believe he is still on Team OSC Elite. I can just tab out and check that. It's always good to know what teams guys in StarCraft 2 are on. Or actually, no, he is in, or no, he's on Wind and Rain now. Pardon me. So that's pretty exciting for him. And this guy, he's been on his team for quite a while, spawning down the bottom left-hand side of the map. It is Liquid TLO. So it's going to be a Terran versus Zerg. Now, these two guys, I'd say, are pretty evenly skilled. They're both Europeans, a Polish player being souL, and then the German player being TLO. And it's going to be exciting how they're going to play. Now, if we actually look at what's going on right now, it looks like it could be a bit of a cheesy opening coming from TLO, as he's going for a double gas. So I'm going to assume he's going to throw up a Roach Warren, and look at that drone. So it's going to be an aggressive opening coming out of the TLO here. And we're going to see how souL's going to deal with this. This is a Terran versus Zerg, so some Terrans do SCV scout, but souL is electing not to do that. And this is the rush. It's not the most rushy rush, so to speak, but it certainly is a rush. Now he's going to have the two Zerglings popping out right now. They're going to run around the map, and they're going to try and avoid this Reaper from souL. If I had to guess here, whether they'll do it, I don't know, but this is actually a pretty big factor here, because souL, this rush is coming his way, and he does not know. I mean, we can look at the Terran's vision right now, and he's just moving out with this Reaper. TLO knows where this Reaper is thanks to his floating balloons in the sky there, and now these Zerglings are going to run right across. They're going to run towards the command center. Now, this Marine's going to be a big factor in defending this, because what souL's going to want to do is he's going to want to let that command center finish, and the Zerglings are there in order to delay the command center if souL's playing particularly greedy. Now, souL scouts the hatchery timing, and souL is a very good player. You can tell by the hatchery timing what's going on, because, I mean, his Reaper got there right as it was finishing up, so that tips you off that it was a hatchery first. Now, whether souL realizes this is a full gravity of what's heading his way is the question. He is starting a bunker, so he should be aware this is coming. The Reaper's now moving out, but it's going to run head first into these Ravagers, or actually it's checking for a third. It may actually miss them. Okay, we'll see these Ravagers. Is souL going to react? And he does, but the Reaper does go down. That long range of the Ravagers managing to pick it off. That's very good for TLO. And now TLO, he's got his two Zerglings just poking and prodding for now, but this Overlord's moving into position, and he's going to begin the siege here with these Ravagers. That Corrosive Bile is going to rain down and eventually try and break souL. But keep in mind, I said that this was quite an aggressive build, but this isn't the most aggressive build. This is sort of like a macro opening, dare I say, from TLO. He's going into drones. He's pulled out a gas, so he's just mining a bit of gas now. And he's going to try and get his economy on track while sort of stifling out of souls. Now he's going right up this ramp. He's going to rain Corrosive Bile. If he can pick off the reactor and if he can pick off the supply depot, that's very nice. souL's going for a Banshee behind this, but losing a supply depot is already a big deal. Losing the reactor will be another one, and he could lose another supply depot here. This is the Corrosive Bile from 4 Ravagers raining down here. Look at that. It looks like this supply depot will go down. souL has to pull the SCVs back. He's getting out a Banshee, which will eventually force us back, but TLO is just going up the ramp. He says, hello, here I am. He's going to rain Corrosive Bile, cancel the cloak on that tech lab, and that's a very big deal. souL's going to have this Banshee, but it's not going to get as much damage he wants done. And now, realizing this, souL is aware that his opponent is not fully committing to this, so the Banshee's going to help clean this up. TLO's going to get what he wants, but TLO, I mean, he's going to get some kills here, but this is him transitioning behind this. He's just churned out a ton of Overlords there, but I imagine he'll be starting a third base soon, and then going from there, as this was cleaned up by souL. He started his third CC behind this. He may be able to pick off an Overlord or two. That would be nice for him, but he's got a siege tank on the way, but this isn't comfortable for souL. You never like having your build thrown off so much, and now he's just going to have to play sort of standard to follow up out of this. Eventually, progress to where he wants to go, but it will be delayed. He's keeping the Banshee at home for defense so far, but it looks like he is aiming for this Overlord, which would be a nice pick off. But souL's going to have to go out of his comfort zone, and he doesn't know. He has no scouting information. He's not sure what his opponent was going for so far. And because of that, now he's going to have to just carefully poke out. He's got the siege tank, and immediately souL realized this wasn't an all-in, and he made a split-second decision. Looking at this for souL, he says, all right, I'm taking damage, so I'm going to have a choice. I'm either going to have to counterattack and deal my own damage, or I'm going to have to power out of it. And he's thrown up the third CC. He's going to power out of it. He's going to be getting that command center. Now, TLO, he knows that souL got that third CC, so he's completely aware that no aggression is going to be coming his way for quite a while, and because of that, he's going for a double hatchery. I mean, you don't see Zergs taking their third and fourth at the same time often, but this is not a standard StarCraft 2 game. So Stim is on the way here for souL, so he's eventually going to be transitioning. He's getting up into his 3 racks, but it'll be a ways off. He's also got that Banshee at home completely for defense, not bothering to poke out with it because that cloak wasn't... there's a Liberator coming in for souL. He made that out of his starport. He's going to try and get some harassment done, but TLO with his queens in position did a good job dealing with this. This one queen may get shot down. It's going to be close. No, so best that souL's going to get is 2 drones for his Liberator. Not the best trade there, and now TLO is going to be macroing away. souL's going to have to work hard to come back in this game. Interestingly enough, souL may be a bit scared. I mean, he saw the lair starting, and he started 2 bunkers. That's quite the defense there. He's got his double eBay on the way, so he's actually going to have much better upgrades than TLO so far. He's just started his +1 melee. So as long as souL stays back, he'll eventually be able to go for a strong push. For now, though, he's playing it very cautious, though, with the double bunker, but he's moving out to get his 3rd base. Siege tank production is resuming. So souL is macroing up. I believe he's seen this 4th base now, so he's now aware that TLO's on 4 bases. Doesn't have to worry about any aggression coming his way, so he's canceled the bunkers. And both these guys are macroing up, but it's really hard to call a game like this. I mean, StarCraft's a game in which a million different things can happen. And part of being a good StarCraft player is sort of knowing where you're at, sort of anticipating what you need to do next. But from a position like this, even as a spectator, it's like, what should I do? And you can see the players have been wondering. That's why souL threw up the double bunkers, because he wasn't quite sure. TLO is now going into Hydras, so he's got a game plan behind this, and is just going to try and catch whatever souL's going for. Now, this double medivac drop can always get something done. Stim Marines pack a lot of power. He's actually going to find these Banelings, maybe just unload there. I mean, this isn't a lot of army for TLO. There's the rest of it. So these medivacs may not get a chance to unload. souL's going to need to be paying attention, and he is. But TLO doesn't want to let souL land. It's like, let me out. I wanna trade with your units. souL may focus fire some Banelings here, or he could get hit. He manages to pick off his units, loses a single Marine for a single Baneling there from the looks of it. But there's a lot more going on in this game besides this drop. souL moving out with another medivac drop. He's just continuously producing units. He's got his armory on the way, so he'll be starting his 2-2. And he's really going to be putting the pressure on TLO now. TLO, though, he's going to do his best to defend this. souL's forced to kite back. Baneling's chasing him. They got that centrifugal hook. souL needs to be careful, but TLO, he doesn't have the biggest army right now, so souL may be able to find a nice angle here to get some damage done. Creep spreading for TLO. Hydra's on the way, though, so he will be solidifying in this game. And souL, already anticipating the Hydra's, getting up a 2nd factory. Siege tanks are pretty good, so... Now, oh, that was close. Hydra's deal a lot of damage, so souL gonna have to play it carefully. He's now moving into the 4th base, but TLO is ready for this. I mean, versus pro gamers in this day. Oh, that was for some nice Baneling snipes there, but no, this is actually a really good trade for souL. He's kiting back right now. The medivac's keeping these Marines alive a long time, but they do need to get out of there now, and he will boost away. But as I was saying, I mean, in StarCraft 2 in this day and age, I mean, players are generally aware. It's like, okay, I'm being attacked by a small army here, probably going to be attacked in another place as well, because players are always trying to out-multitask their opponent, get them where they're not expecting it, and that means hitting them everywhere. Now, souL going to lift off so close with these men. Oh, he's playing with fire there, eating one more shot. That medivac is so weak. souL may eventually consolidate his forces and go for a big push, and I think that's what we're looking at right now. We'll see what he can get done, but he is going into a 4th base behind this. 2-2 is on the way. So he's going to be looking pretty good in this game. That medivac drop's moving out. I mean, souL's doing a good job keeping the creep back. I mean, TLO doesn't have the best creep spread right now, but souL may lose some medivacs right now, and he needs to play it very careful, losing that medivac. So this drop stays are numbered. Oh, and those 2 medivacs to the north actually got caught out. They had already traded and kind of done their job, but losing units is never a good thing in StarCraft. souL getting up a planetary, getting up a sensor tower. TLO, on the other hand, is quite confident now. He's got his Hydraling Bane, and he's possibly preparing for a multi-attack, or a multi-prong attack right now. And look at this, the 3rd base. It's got a sensor tower there, it's got a wall, but how long is this wall going to hold right now? Hydra's Ling's working on this. The 3rd base for souL going to be in a lot of trouble, and here comes the 1-2 punch. The planetary will be the big defense here. They'll be able to do that, but souL lost both his sensor towers. That's not cheap. And now he's in the dark. TLO getting up a 5th into 6th space while all this is going on. So he's really hitting his stride, and eventually souL's going to need to get something done. He's planning up another drop, and if he can cancel one of these bases, that would be very nice. But he's moving out right now. Needs to be very careful. TLO, he's got Banelings, but it's not an absolutely massive amount. So souL is able to sort of bully his opponent right now. You always have to respect the Banelings, though, to some degree. Here comes that drop in. It's going to maybe unload at this base. It's going to immediately notify TLO, though, so souL maybe can get the space, so if he stims and right-clicks on it, looks like he will be able to. That's nice for him. Needs to load up and get out of there. He doesn't quite have boost yet. There we go. Now, souL unloading, but he's got this big force right now. His medivacs are actually trapped here. Oh no, that queen pushes it. Oh, those medivacs do go down. So ultimately that is 2 full medivacs with the Marines in order to get that base. Hey, what we're looking at right now is souL's got a good chunk of siege tanks. He's got a lot of Marines, so they're rather flimsy, but with the tank support, he's looking strong. And TLO is going for the big investment into the Ultras. He's not gone for Hydraling Bane Viper, which sort of supports his existing army. He's going into this different tech entirely. So, or he actually did get Vipers. Pardon me, pardon whatever I say. There's so much going on in this game. Now, souL's trying to make this push work, but not getting too much done. A counter drop did get shut down there. souL really wants to get some damage done here, but with all this Hydraling Bane, and TLO did squeeze out Vipers, he's actually consuming a hatchery. A little bit more than I'd like. souL, though, really testing the waters, wants TLO to take a bad engagement. And now it looks like TLO's going for it. Will it be a bad engagement, though? A nice Blinding Cloud goes down. There's a lot of tanks here from souL, but he's losing out on units. Not too many Banelings left, though, so souL may be able to trade right now, but he doesn't have a lot of medivac support. Many more reinforcements are streaming across the map now. Just Hydras remain, but actually there's an Ultra coming behind this, and souL's going to say, uh-oh, I could be in trouble right now. He's down on army supply. He's kiting this army back. He's doing his best, but these Ultras are such an anchor for TLO. souL's kiting back, but he needs more medivacs. Chitinous plating isn't done, so that Ultra evaporated pretty quick, and souL's going to be able to pick off a few Hydras right now, but he can't really keep pushing as more Ultras are popping out. All those Vipers there to punish him. souL doing the best thing, which is expanding. He's going into Ghost Tech. He's getting up his 3-3. Another base, but he's actually sort of caught out right now. He's kiting back. This army is so red. souL needs to retreat, and he's going to do just that. He should have some reinforcements somewhere, but he's busy tacking into other units. Right now his army supply is dropping, and TLO is looking to end this game maybe. A snipe goes down. That Ultra does get finished off. An EMP lands on the Vipers, which is very nice. The Hydra is going to put out a lot of damage, so souL may just have enough, though. He's hanging on barely. Gets a Viper for his efforts, but he needs to be careful not to overstep right now because he is stimmed and stimmed and stimmed. He's kiting back his army so red. He's got a decent medivac count right now. Both these players are just trading so evenly right now. Usually in StarCraft 2, it goes one way or another, but this fight is just going on and on. souL kiting back, the Ultras coming in once more. There's not too much support for them, though, but it's mainly Marines here, and Marines not the best versus Ultras. souL's forced to lift up, and he's going to lose this base, which could possibly start the snowball. More Ultras coming in for TLO off such a good economy. He's just been growing. Just producing these extra units is nothing for him. And Ultra hitting this base to the north, but souL loses his former 3rd base. He may be able to engage these units, but there's so many Ultralisks for TLO and not quite enough of a counter for souL. Now, if souL can hold on, he's still got 4 bases. Losing a CC, not the biggest deal in the world in this situation, but holding on is going to be the trouble. He's down on army supply. His army is inferior. His upgrades aren't bad, but it's going to be tough. He's going to have to play very well, and souL so far has just been making a lot more Marines. The Planetary is there to aid him right now, but Vipers can Blinding Cloud down on that to prevent it shooting. souL's kiting back, but it looks like it may just be too much for TLO right now. He's maybe able to get an Ultra 2. He's repairing the Planetary, so it's so close. Once again, these fights are so even, and TLO is forced back thanks to the Planetary Fortress being a rock. He's going for the base to the north, which isn't being repaired right now. souL losing his economy. Army supplies dropping for both these guys. The banks are almost always empty here, as it's just so close. They're just making as many units, but the Planetary goes down, and that could be the nail in the coffin. The Snipe goes down. Most of these Ultras have fallen, but souL having to retreat to another Planetary Fortress. He's now on 3 bases. He's unloading, needs to repair this Planetary here. I mean, the Ultras are melting, but it looks like this base may go down this time, and it does, and I think that could be it for souL. GG gets called. TLO manages to take the game, and when you're going for a win in StarCraft, you want it to be that clean. TLO just played fantastically if we look at that. I mean, like, both these, they were just making units continuously. TLO, he had 73 drones, and usually in a situation like this, one of the players that's ahead will build a bank, but no, these guys were just gunning it 100% towards each other. Eventually, TLO did win out, though. I mean, souL tried to make it happen, but I guess he just didn't quite take the best fight. Maybe if he planned to go into that later game, he would have been a bit safer, but the snowball started, and in StarCraft 2, it's so hard to stop a snowball. souL certainly tried his best, though, and that was a fantastic game. souL is a very good Terran player, one of the top European Terrans. And now, as far as this cast goes, thanks to everyone for watching. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're watching this. I appreciate it. I'm trying to put out more and more SC2 content. I love it. I just thought I want to cast a game. This was a good replay that I found. And thank you for watching. I shall see you guys next time. Make sure to leave a like, by the way.